Salutations and welcome to the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party Podcast with Kiki, Cupcake, and Miss. Let's brew some tea and bake, I think you make, some crumpets. Enjoy the show.
Hey, oh, hey, oh,
Hello!
hey,
Fuck, I
Dee-
cannot see anything with these.
dee, 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 dee.
Oh my god.
What?
Trippy.
Nice. My brain just came up with a haha funny thing.
Yeah?
I was like, it's the hallucinations light, TM.
I have never hallucinated like this.
Okay.
This is like probably what I imagine LSD is like. Or Molly. Party drugs.
Okay.
Not like a psychosis hallucination. Which is what I have.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put these back up. Whoa. How are you? My ear is coming off.
Nice, good. Is a Kiki's, and there's a wild cupcake staring from the abyss.
There he is.
Dun,
Sorry,
dun.
I was washing my hands after lunch.
Ah.
Da, 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 da.
How is Cupcake?
Alive.
Well, alright.
Okay.
Still working on watching my way through the final episode of Beach Plays Shin-Chan, me and the professor on summer vacation.
How is that?
8 3-hour episodes. It's good. I would never pay $40 to play this game, but he looks like he might actually 100% the mother son of a gun.
Well, Beej is a meticulous man.
He is indeed. Probably why he's their operational manager.
I mean, it's probably one of the reasons Heather loves him.
What's up?
I said it's probably one of the reasons Heather loves him.
Right.
Because she prefers chaos.
I still love with the I don't remember what episode of their talk show they were talking about it, but they were like how did you guys decide who was going to be like, your chairman of the entire company? Like, we just made Paul. He seemed like the least likely to be corrupted by power.
We are talking about Loading Ready Run for those who don't know. I act like we have an audience when we don't. We really don't. We have 17 subscribers, and I think most of them are bots.
Woof.
Get out of my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird to think that I found them through you and I watching their November, what do you want to call it, their seminal annual November fundraiser of playing Desert Bus.
Yes, Desert Bus. Always Desert Bus. Every
Right.
year I look forward to it.
Me too. It's not like the worst part of the year for me, so I'm always like, yes, I shall watch this while I do all the things. Last year, my general manager's like, what the hell are you listening to? I can see you have earbuds, and I'm like, I'm watching people play video games for charity. Well, that seems good. I'm like, they're doing it for the kids, the sick kids at the hospital. Oh, okay, we'll have fun. He walked away.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
All right.
Ooh. I've lost a significant amount of undercarriage here.
Right.
Cupcake and I are losing weight, so is Mish.
Right.
Well, sort of.
You're doing it.
I like.
Uh,
My problem is I didn't like so much lose weight as I think I gained muscle. So I got heavier, but thinner.
Healthy.
Right.
Hmm.
My walk clocked 14,000 steps.
Nice.
yeah, due to some severe emotional trauma in December,
Right.
I was like, fuck eating right. Fuck this shit.
And no one blames you, not one person.
Nope.
Ugh.
Who names their dog Cannoli? Seriously? Good lord. That poor dog.
Holy cannolis.
Cannoli sounds like a perfectly fine name.
For a French bulldog?
Oh my god, that's perfect.
I'll post this picture, hang on.
Actually, it's kind of not. Cannolis are Italian.
Well, see, I would lose my okay, that's cute.
Oh,
I would lose my shit if an actual Italian greyhound was named cannoli.
yeah, that's better.
There's another one on this subreddit named Rigatoni, which I thought was hilarious.
Oh,
It's like
When
all
the
the
one
cute
was... Oh, go ahead.
all the cute dog names, and then the last person is like, and this is Fred. You know, like it's like you freak people out when you name your like dog human names. It's like, yeah, Fred was licking his balls the other day. What? Oh, Fred's the dog. The fuck? What?
Cupcake's all dark again.
I am always dark, in the darkness.
You're a cutie muffin of light.
Never! Never!
Just want to pinch those cheeks.
Right. These jowls. Wah, wah, wah.
Ugh. It's so hot, Cupcake. It
What are you
rained. It's
talking about? It's
weird.
like it's 68 right now. I don't know what this hot you're talking about is.
I hate you. Okay, it's not actually all that hot yet, but it will
But
be.
Soon.
It's gonna be. I'm not wearing my glasses. 104 today. Oh. Where the fuck did I even put my glasses?
I don't know. You have like fake, like silly glasses on your head. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and they're psychedelic as hell. I cannot
I
see
can
shit.
tell.
Like I have 6 hands.
So I see.
That's why they're on my head.
Boo-ba-doo. Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about the Godzilla stuff.
Yes, Godzilla.
So, like I was mentioning earlier, my friend, one of my online friends, had to move, and he was selling his Godzilla stuff.
Right.
Let's see about turning that on. Yay! Yes, I have the window open. So came in box.
Right.
There's one book that is not in here by me. But he sent me Godzilla Returns. So these are very well loved. You can kind of see very well
Yeah.
loved. This one is Godzilla 2000. And then the other one is about Mechagodzilla. Like it's talking about the building of Mechagodzilla. So, and when I say he's a Godzilla fan, I mean one stack.
Holy shit.
And so 2 stacks. So he currently, let me set that down. Currently, there's a couple Blu-rays I won't be able to watch, unfortunately, which is the Godzilla with what's his face? Matthew Broderick. I had to actually look at the back because I could not remember his name. And then Godzilla 1984. And then of course this, one came out with that. So these are like the classics. So like, and there a lot of them are. There's a couple that are like, or at least one that's a double feature. So like this one has Godzilla versus King Ghidorah and Godzilla and Mothra: The Battle for Earth. Godzilla versus Biolente, which it looks like a crocodile of sorts. It's got a crocodile mouth. Godzilla 2000, so like the book. Get Ready to Crumble. It's hilarious. Another double feature, Godzilla versus Space Godzilla and Godzilla versus Destroya. So, fun stuff. Godzilla versus Megaquartz. Chorus. Basically the evil bug. Terror of Mechagodzilla. This one is like the Toho Master Collection. 2 remaster files on 1 disc. So it's the original Japanese version and the English dubbed version of 1964. Of Mothra versus Godzilla. So there's that, and this was also apparently also released as Godzilla versus the Thing. So I guess this was Mothra in her crazy phase.
Oop.
Don't hold it against her. Another Toho Master Collection. Invasion of the Astro Monster, and also releases Godzilla versus Monster Zero. So that one. Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 1 and 2. All monsters attack. So apparently this is the original Japanese version and English dub version. It's also released as Godzilla's Revenge. So everybody's having a crazy party on the front, punching each other out. Couple more of the collection, the fancy collection. Ghidorah, the 3-headed monster, and Godzilla raids again. So very shiny, very shiny, very shiny. I have to watch all of these because I haven't seen all of these. I know it's amazing. I haven't. King Kong, Big Monkey, Godzilla versus the Sea Monsters, and then finally Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah. Giant monsters all-out attack. So, lots of. Oh, wait a minute. There's one more. Hold on a minute.
That's a lot of Godzilla.
Right.
Stupid bangs.
Right.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome
Sorry
back.
about that. Just as I was about to stand up and grab the one that I forgot. So this one, it's original black and white. Gojira, the original masterpiece. So here's black and white. It's got the Gojira original masterpiece, and then Godzilla, King of the Monsters, starring Raymond Burr, and it's got like a little pamphlet that you can read about. It says dedicated to the memory of Godzilla's creators, and just kind of reviews about how it was made and what went into it and stuff like that. So I think that's really cool, is having that there as like so it includes the US theatrical release Godzilla King of the Monsters, making of the Godzilla Suite featurette, Godzilla story development featurette, audio commentaries, original movie trailers, and English subtitles. So pretty cool. I might have to watch that first. Set it right there. Along with my I was able to finally what did I hold on. Oh, there's 3 more.
There you go.
Here. Holy shit. Okay, it was seeing under here. Tokyo, Godzilla Tokyo SOS. So Mecha Godzilla again. Godzilla versus Hedorah and Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla. I'm like, oh my god, these are sitting under here. Well, also what's under there, I finally years and years ago, because when I say like when someone says like the Secret Garden, like growing up for like my generation, you guys' generation, just off. I finally found what they were like, what people actually watched, which was it had Maggie Smith in it as the housekeeper. But I was like, I didn't grow up with this version. Where's the version I grew up with? Well, it's actually the Gold Crown Collector's Edition. It was made by Hallmark.
Oh.
And it was filmed at Highclere Castle, where they filmed Downton Abbey. And it was, but it's funny too, because you guys, I don't know if you guys remember the newest Secret Garden that came out with Colin Firth.
Yeah.
So I laughed when I saw him as, Mr. Crane, because in the Hallmark version, one of his earliest film appearances, Colin Firth is the adult Colin.
Oh.
At the end of the film, and so I was like, "Oh my god, he's the dad!" I was like, "This is so great. I love it so much." But anyways, that's my little geek out moment about that. And I do have on my Kindle the Secret Garden that everybody else seemed to grow up with. And I like it. They did a good job. It's just that I prefer the one I grew up with. Nostalgia plus I just I like it better.
Yeah, that
Nothing
makes sense.
against nothing against the other beeps, but I'm like, I like this better. The I can scream louder.
Pardon. I have message.
so what
Main screen turn on.
Oh, they're doing Call of Duty. Never mind then. I was like, what are they doing in this server? Oh, they're doing Call of Duty. I don't have Call of Duty, so it's just moving on. I'm waiting for the next mission thing to come out with Overwatch. I'm like, it's an hour.
Oh, dude, tell me about it. The next what do you call it, expansion pack for Power Wash Simulator comes out at the end of the month. And I'm just like, God, I'm ready. Take me. Let's do this.
Time is it? It may actually be there. Well, let's see here. Let's see if it's there. Let's launch. Oh, it's funny. So yesterday I was playing a little bit and Overwatch a little bit, and there was at one point, like a month or within the past few months, where I was put into solo queue just with a bunch of randos, and then we all decided to stay as a team because you have that option that you can stay as a team, and we vibed. And then so we added a couple of those people, and then one of them messaged me like, "Hey, you want to play together?" I was like, "Oh, sure." Like, how do I know you again? And it was funny because we were like, okay, let's be friends on Discord. So we friend each other in Discord, and we're trying to figure out like how are we in Discord servers together? What? But all right, so 35 minutes. I'm like,
Okay.
35 minutes. But I'm talking to y'all.
It's nice to know that we're more important than Overwatch.
Woof.
Yes. And well, I can sit here and. Anyways. Oh, jeez, my stupid nose is like, yeah, we need you to like scratch us because we're itching and. Yes, those are all my Godzilla stuff. Let me see here. Let me look at this. The nighttime blizzard world. Oh, they're already playing. I love it when this happens. Anyways, but I happened to look at the back of because I got the actual like physical DVD, and I looked at the back of the DVD. It doesn't say Colin Firth, but I just remember being like, "Oh hey, he's here." Okay, where I was about to say where the.
Oh, pardon. I wasn't up late last night or anything.
No,
Of course
never.
D&D was fun.
Yeah, not like I passed out the past couple nights either.
No, never. What are you talking about?
Of course not.
That's madness. Madness, I tell you, madness.
Yeah, not much else going on. We're planning a trip for next year for my mom's 70th birthday. So that's been fun. So that's been fun. I have been, our hubby and I have been practicing. I'm like, we're not practicing. What are we? Huh. We've been kind of figuring out like, okay, there's this many people. How many bedrooms do we need? You know that, and you know the usual.
Any solid plans yet?
Yeah, we actually we put a $50 deposit down on a oop shit. Sorry. Say two things at once. Always works. We put a deposit down on one that has a 4-bedroom because we need at least 5 bedrooms so that everyone has their own room. But the one we found that is available when we are going or when we decided to go, is 4 bedrooms plus there's a loft with a pull-out sofa that is a queen size, I think. And so we're like, we're and as we put hubby sends a he sends an email with it, and then so I just kind of forwarded that and was like, okay, so forwarded is like, we're if needed, we'll we understand as my brother said, have at least bedrooms for all the adults, which that would be. But we're like, we understand if no one else wants to grab the pull-out bed. So like, we're totally fine with grabbing that if no one else wants it, and doing that.
Excuse me. My mom's car had serious issues, as you guys know, from looking at the server, and they were able to get a look at it and get it. She's texting me like, it's done. I'm like, I'm in the middle of recording something. Does it have to happen right this minute? She's like, no, just by 5. I'm like, well, do you want me to text you when I'm done, or no response?
Hopeful.
I don't know if she's saying like, just let me know when you're available to go. What? Hang on. Okay, I'm tracking. She's gonna walk to the mechanics because it's only a mile from my grandma's place where she's at right now.
Okay.
But I have to bring payment because it's like more than the check cards will allow. Like, you can only go X amount of hundreds of dollars, and then it tells you that you have to use a different payment. And I'm the only one that has a card that has that unlocked.
Okay.
Is what I set mine up so that if it goes over the limit, like if I'm over, I don't know, well, let's say it's $500, then it switches over to being a credit, like you're using it like a credit card, and then I just pay it from my bank account when I get home. Because I'm the only one who's tech savvy enough to set my bank card up to do that, where it works as a bank card below X amount of dollars, but a credit card above X amount of dollars.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
I don't know if that made any. Yeah, okay, good. I was like, I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's how I set it up so that I could use it. Yeah.
But yeah, they're apparently one of the new patches or new things with this season for Overwatch is progression.
Right.
So, you like recruit DJ, recruit monk, recruit engineer. So, right now I'm level 5 with Zenyatta and Lucio, because very often when I'm doing all roles, it throws me into support. Follow closely by level 4, Bastion, Drunkrat, and Torbjorn. Then Ramatra, Sigma, and Soldier 76 as level 3. Everybody else is level 1 because I haven't played them enough yet, or I don't play them at all. So, for example, let's look at Lucio. Like, you kind of get it by doing, like, different things. So, like, eliminations, 20 out of 25. Environmental kills, which I don't have access to that yet. Healing done, 16 out of 14,000. Player safe, 6 out of 10. Stuff like that. So, like, with, for different things, like Zenyatta, player saved still. Harmony Orb healing. So, like, there's different, like, I have to get better with Zenyatta because I guess there's charged volley kills, which is holding and then releasing with the left clicker on your mouse if you're playing PC. I have to get better at that, but me, I just kind of shoot out things. And then I finally played enough to unlock Junker Queen, so that's fun. But yeah, that was that. I was gonna say something else. I don't know. Looks like the streamer I had on before the call finished Resident Evil 5 and is back to Dead by Daylight because I switched over. I was like, what's he on? Is he still on Resident Evil 5? And saw the loading screen for, he's bringing up Wesker. Okay, that's not surprised. Resident Evil 5's got Wesker in it. I think he's called the Mastermind in Dead by Daylight, just for for legal purposes, is not Wesker. But it's Wesker. Like, he's got the Resident Evil like arm that pops out, like blah, blah, blah. And the same voice lines from the game too. So yeah. Anyways.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Damn. What have people been... Fuck. What have people been watching lately?
I finished season 1 of To Love Ru, which was a thing.
Let me pull this up. So I have Netflix. I've been watching Cold Case Files because, and then I found on Netflix, Uku the Inner Chambers, which I'm on episode 2. So basically, it starts out with as the kind of summary of episode 1 says, in this extended episode that includes a prelude to the main story, a boy is attacked by a wild bear, introducing a plague that affects only males. So basically, as you watch this, that's what happens. The boy runs off. He's gonna go have some fun. Takes place in Japan,
Of course.
and he, wild bear, and it looks like it has rabies, or it's just something. So the boy's attacked, and then suddenly it looks like small. I think you would call it is either looks like smallpox, or it looks like measles. You basically get like pimples, but it's like it turns your skin red. And if you're an older man, you're fine. But usually, like a certain age range of young men, or it just hits young men. So basically, what happens is like because there's so little men, women take over the main, like running the country and stuff. So like the Shogun and the main Shogun in this movie, or the movie series, starts off as a 7-year-old girl, but then she dies, and then an adult woman comes along to be the Shogun. And so she's got basically a bunch of men living as a harem kind of thing in her palace, kind of as a symbol of her power as a shogun. And so like one of the main characters from the first episode, basically like he goes around and like woman kind of, he goes to poor women because they don't have the money to like get the services of a man to have children. So that's what he does. So like but if you're married, you're kind of it's kind of like important. So like I'm sorry, 1 second. I got a thing from work. All right, sorry. So the main character dude, he's kind of in love with a woman he grew up with, but they can't get married really because cultural reasons, whatever. 2 3 so but due to there's a weird thing where like there's a ceremony for a secret swain to before the shogun gets married, right? kind of introduce her into the bedchamber arts. But because he technically defiles the shogun, he has to be killed. He doesn't realize this, and neither does the shogun, because she hasn't heard of it before now, because she was basically like a third daughter, so it was like she wasn't really up for this in the first place. And so because like he talks to her about his childhood sweetheart, she's like, she kills, quote unquote, kills him, so he can, and this says, you were never original name, you were always new name. And so he goes home, and then a happy ending. So it was like, but that's kind of like the basis of like how the story starts. And then the shogun goes to like there's this 97-year-old scribe. So like she goes to him and goes, okay, how did this start? Because she finds that like, both her and like her like lady in waiting or whatever, her like right hands, they have their female names, but they also have when they're like as the head of the household, they have a male name as the head of the household. So she's like, why did this start? How did this start? What happened? Because this has been like going on for at least 1 to 2 generations, like 80 to 100 years. So she like tells the scribe like there was this old man who kind of hung around their village, and he always raved about, oh, it used to be there used to be more men, and I always thought he was crazy, but I'm starting to believe that he wasn't crazy. And then he walks her to like a specific like the details of like the first female shogun when all this started happening, and like, yeah, go ahead, read it, this is what happened. So, and I'm just partially into episode 2, so there's 10 episodes.
All right. Oops, clicked on the wrong thing. Hang on. Wrong thing again. I want to get right how many episodes there are in this before I say. Okay. So I've been watching Bocchi the Rock. There's 12 episodes.
That looks so cool.
I know, it's animated so beautifully.
It reminds me so much of KO. Just like the promotional stuff I've been seeing.
Yeah. Except for it really only follows the one girl. Because her name is Bocchi.
If you told me her name was like Tiffany, I would have laughed.
Anyway, I've only watched 2 episodes because I'm having a lot of depression issues, so let's just roll over that and keep talking.
No, let's deep dive on that very issue.
You're not my therapist.
Put you under the spotlight. Where were you last night? What were you doing with Prude Face?
With what?
I'm making a Dick Tracy joke.
Oh, okay.
But he gets mumbles under the lights. He's like, "Where were you last night? What were you doing with Prude Face?"
Last night I was playing D&D. I leveled up. Now I'm I leveled up to level 19, so now I'm a level 5 Grave Cleric. Cleric level 4 Pack of the Tome Warlock. 'Cause I'm weird. Anyway, Bocchi is an excellent, primo guitar player because she's been playing all of her life. In the closet.
Oh, okay.
Like she's literally sitting in the closet playing a guitar.
Yeah, she records and posts to like what is essentially a SoundCloud. She has like billions of fans who don't know who she is because she posts under an alias. She has severe social anxiety. She accidentally gets pushed into joining this band because their guitarist runs off. They don't know that she's this primo guitar player who... They even name drop this guitar player in front of her, and she can't say, "Oh, that's me," because of her social anxiety. She ends up the first time they play together on stage, she ends up playing inside of a box because she can't stand to see the crowd, and she plays terribly.
And no one was shot.
Yeah, it is adorable. Like, I want to watch more. There is a stage play of it. Like, it's very popular. Like, I really hope it gets a dub.
I hope so too. There's been a lot of what you would consider like clear winners that they're like, no, we're not gonna dub it.
Yeah. Is it on Crunchyroll?
Probably.
Hang on. Pardon.
Okay, 1 second. I need to look at something. I'm gonna mute myself so I'm not muttering.
Yes, it is on Crunchyroll. You can watch it with ads. Subtitled. But all the girls have great personalities. Currently, they're looking for a singer. That's how far I've gotten. They've sort of introduced the singer in, like, an after clip. They haven't actually met her yet. So I wonder what kind of girl she's going to be, because she was at a karaoke bar. So I wonder if she's going to have, like, difficulty actually singing without it being, like, karaoke. I wonder if that's going to be her deal.
That's going to be her thing.
Yeah. What was the other thing I was gonna say? There's like something coming out that I'm looking forward to that I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember.
Ooh.
Oh well. Is this happening?
Sorry, my messaging is going off for work. That's why I'm like.
That's alright. Anyway, Cupcake, what were you watching?
I finished season 1 of To Love Ru.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's the thing. I wouldn't. It's like not a. It's like a. They make it look like it's gonna be a harem, but it's really a romantic comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever, it's Lala, the main girl, is a space princess who crash lands on Earth. She runs into the main character. His name completely escapes me right now, and he accidentally commits an act on her planet, Devil Luke, that is basically saying, I want to marry you and spend the rest of my life with you, which is to, and I quote, in the bath, grab the girl by the titty. But specifically the right titty. And squeeze.
I hate anime.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You hate
I
anime?
hate anime. I'm lying, but I hate anime.
And so the premise of all of this is that by doing so, he has committed himself to marrying the first princess of Devilude. Which, or I guess, sorry, I'm sorry, the crown princess of Devilude. And is committing himself to surviving the trials and everything that goes with it of becoming the Emperor of Devilude. And shenanigans happen, and clearly their parent, they do the whole thing. Their parents are away on business pretty much permanently, and so he and his little sister run the household. She moves in because where else is she going to stay? He constantly wakes up with her in his bed, naked, snuggling him, even though she has her own bedroom. And the shenanigans they get up to, because she starts going to his school as a cover because she's his age, and all that goes in with that. And the biggest one that they use for gags constantly, she doesn't wear clothes in the traditional sense. She wears clothes like you or I would, but they're not clothes. She has I don't even know how to describe this thing. She has a beret that is like a little white smile, like a white beret with like a black smiley face or whatever on it. Like, it's like white. It's white background, black line. It's actually a AI robot that can give her whatever uniform attire that she needs, and will transform on the fly to be, battle suit, school uniform, nurse's outfit, policewoman, pick a, race car driver, whatever. But it has to be conscious to keep this up. So if it's A, removed, or B, knocked out, she's naked. And so they constantly have the deal where when she's at, like, there's a point at one point they're measuring all the girls for like costumes for a play, and they need to get her, and she's like, no, I'm good. And like one of the other girls literally just grabs the beret, yanks it off her head, and basically gets her naked so they can measure her, and then gives it back to her when they're done.
Okay.
But this is like a running gag throughout the thing of her being completely. Oh, and because this happens so often, she's completely comfortable with the fact that she's naked in public. She just doesn't even phase her after a while, because this constantly happens.
Okay.
And there are 3 more seasons.
That sounds like a heck of a thing.
And
John Carter from Mars anime shenanigans.
right. And what sticks out to me is that, like, I was watching it streaming just because I was too lazy to like rip open the box and like go find the thing. It's in one of the mini boxes sticking around my room. The service I was using shows you what episodes of an anime are like original from the original manga or light novel, and what ones are filler. Season 1, which is from I think 2009, is 26 episodes long. 4 of them, or 5 of them, I'm not sure which, are core like story episodes. The rest are filler. They're original to the anime. They never happened in manga.
Nice.
And I will state, the core, like actually based off of a chapter in the manga, really good. The filler episodes, oh my god, I'm losing my mind. But I committed myself to watching it. So once I started, I was like, well, I gotta finish the season. And then the next thing I'm planning to watch, which is actually sitting in my disc drive tray, is Spy X Family. I haven't started it yet. But I read the manga, read like the first volume of the manga, and I was like, I gotta watch this. So this is so good.
Once I'm done with Bochi, I'm gonna start that.
And everybody's like, we're gonna watch it. I'm like, I don't care how many times I have to watch it. I'm sure I can watch it multiple times, but I've seen enough clips of it that I'm like, or I'm saying like like pictures and gifs and stuff that I'm like, I have to watch this.
Yeah. Yeah, that reminds me. There is that's kind of what led me to watch Chinese period drama of Rui's Royal Love in the Palace, was the clips on Facebook. Like the 5-minute clips or whatever. So I was like, oh, let me find this, and so I kind of binged it. And then I was kind of looking for it again, just kind of like maybe just kind of, put it on the background. And apparently there's a novelization of it. I was like, oh, cool. And I'm like, but it's in Chinese. So I can't read it.
There's no translation?
Not right now, because I highlighted the title and then English edition or Chinese edition, put it in the Amazon search bar, substituted English for Chinese, nothing came up.
Right.
That sucks.
I was like, I'm like, this really sucks because I want to read this. This would be so cool. And it was really pretty, like really pretty binding. I was like, I'm set to buy this, and I'm like, no, wait, it's in Chinese. It was in my cart. I was like, wait a minute, this is in Chinese. I can't read this. I can't buy this. Oh no.
I am finally reading again.
Yay.
I am reading... Wait, what am I reading? Hang on. What the fuck am I reading? Open Goodreads.
Sorry.
The 3-body problem.
Ah.
I'm on the 2nd chapter. I just started last night.
Nice. I actually have to look... No, that's not what I wanted to do. Clicked on the wrong thing. I actually have to look this up because I'm like, I can't remember what this is. Higher levels of membership, so that's why I'm like, which one is this one? Because you hardly get those. So Fester's Quest Bosses compilation. Oh my god, because I was like, what? I'm like, oh my god, it is Fester.
Is Cupcake consuming any other media?
I've been listening to a series of audiobooks called Keepers of the Flame. It's like isekai anime, but it was written by an American like in the 1980s. First, then it went for 10 books. D&D group at a college are playing, are sucked into the fantasy world. They go on wild adventures. Basically, like them, and like time in the fantasy world goes a lot faster than the real world. So like they're gone for 6 months, and it's like 10 minutes in real time, or like our time, whatever you want to call it. So Yeah, I'm on book 3. It's pretty good.
Nice.
Very gritty.
I'm kind of using that same idea in one of my fan fictions that I've been brainstorming for like forever, but I haven't actually written down what I'm doing. Is that it's Overwatch fan fiction, and the reader character is a contact, so the people who like relay information and orders and stuff to agents out in the field, and kind of goes off collecting information about Reaper, and somehow runs into Reaper. I'm not sure how it's going to go. And I was like, well, we need more like time flow shenanigans, kind of like Tracer. But the two of them get pulled into an alternate dimension where it's kind of like that, where like not necessarily faster, but in the dimension they came from, they were gone for like 2 years, something like
Yeah,
that.
right.
And when they came back, it was because the reader character finds two AIs that have in the story. So because of that, because of those two AIs that came from their dimension, and they could verify, yes, these two individuals from this dimension, in that dimension, they were there for 10 years. So
Right.
for 5 years for every year that they were gone. And so like, yeah. And they come back and it's like, hi, we had some fun shenanigans while we're over there. But I have a lot of other stuff that I'm actually in the process of like actually writing. So I'm like, that could take a back burner because I'm okay with just brainstorming and figuring out what I want to do with these characters, how I want to, you know.
Right.
I don't know why my nose is itchy all of a sudden today.
You have the window open.
I have that window open every day and it's not itching. It usually doesn't itch the way it's itching now. I mean, I see what you mean, like, allergies and stuff. So that may
Right.
be it, but
Oops, sorry.
I guess a fool is thinking about me. I don't know. I think that's the old wives' tale. When your nose itches, a fool's thinking about you or something.
Something like that.
Is that what I wanted to pick? Thank you. Here, I'm also rereading a book series. Basically, the premise of the first book that kind of goes along after that is there's this guy, like he's a computer genius inventor dude, and he goes to another like they're inventors, businessmen, stuff like that. So basically, when he goes to meet with this guy, this guy's father had almost bankrupted himself to put like the the heavy industry stuff that has all the pollutants on the moon instead of actually on the earth. But things worked out, and so he basically goes, yo dude, we kind of need to get off this planet because one wrong solar flare or asteroid or whatever and we're goners. Like, yeah, like it hasn't happened. Like, this is like maybe several hundred years in the future. So relatively similar technology level, but maybe a little bit higher. And so they start brainstorming, like, how are we going to figure this out? And so there's the computer guy starts work on like, oh, we need to have a computer help us figure it out. and he creates the first and only artificial intelligence. The acronyms of her name make her name Janice. So he helps her create an avatar. So a lot of meetings and stuff, like there's the world. It's basically like the World Authority, like they're basically the future version of the United Nations. So a lot of them, they don't go into the office. They haven't gone to the office in 100 years. So her being just an avatar is no problem. So she creates an avatar. Basically, she inserts avatars, and she makes her own law firms in like the New York Wire. She joins the World Authority herself, becomes vice chairman, then becomes the chairman of the World Authority. So basically, a computer is running the World Authority because her charter is prevent a catastrophe from wiping out the human race. So in order to do that, she basically gets her fingers in all of the pies and starts building things. She built a few factories to go out to the asteroid belt to get more stuff to build factories, and then build, because she was like, okay, we need to get off the planet, but we need to figure out how to do it in a timely fashion. Because yeah, there's a generation ship, but you get there and they might be too afraid to get off of the ship because they're hothouse flowers. So we need to figure out a way, like either string theory or dark matter or something in like the fringes of physics and science to get to these planets. And while she's doing that, she figures that out, then starts researching, okay, what other planets in the galaxy/solar systems can we put people on? Gets a lottery going for people to like go out and be colonists, genetic diversity, things like that. And then she eventually goes like, okay, we've figured out more than one planet. She basically said, okay, what's another way that humans can be wiped out? Pandemics. So eventually you find out that each of these colonies planets are far enough away, because she was like, they're going to figure out how to fly through space without, it's kind of like the normal spaceship go through hyperspace kind of thing that they figure out. So it's far enough away that like the first symptoms would show up by the time they got there, so they wouldn't go down to the planet and spread the disease. And she's like, the last thing that would wipe out humanity is interstellar war. And she basically because her father, who she considers her father, the computer guy, tells her like, usually in history, the only reason that there's no war for a while is because there's one player in the field that no one wants to go up against, because to go up against them would be suicide. So like the Roman Empire at its height, or like the Chinese Empire, or whatever. And she goes, okay, that'll be me. So she creates like a geodesic sphere eventually, because she doesn't want to have conquered Earth culture either. Like, because that would just stagnate the human race. So she takes herself, she shows a video of herself, these two scientists who created the Lakeshore Drive, the way to instantaneously go back and forth, a few other people on a rocket ship, and then she fabricates a video that shows it coming apart and killing everyone on board, including herself. So she basically kills off, quote unquote, herself and the scientists who created the instantaneous transport option, so that no one knows where the colonies are. They can, she made sure like it's going to be in a subtropical area where we drop them off. They've got this and this, and they're not just dropping them off. Like they're dropping them off like with the ability to like put up plastic houses, and they're in like a Hawaii like temperature that's usually year round. So they're going to be able to, and they've got barns with animals, and she's already pre-seeded the planet with orchards and other grazing materials and things like rabbits and deer and dogs and cats and stuff. So like there's a lot like years and years of prep work that went into making the planets available for human habitation without like actual terraforming. So it's like small terraforming, but the foundation was already there to put the Earth like stuff on there already. So, and then she neatly takes herself out of the equation by killing herself, quote unquote. Then she's already moved her like main hardware to space. And so she makes a geodesic sphere that she could actually encircle the planet with it. So she keeps what she found in terms of instantaneous transport, so she can basically, if there's like another alien race out there who might be belligerent, she can intervene if needed. But she's like, she has like she's keeping an eye on everybody and, making sure like, okay, just in case there's something going wrong, like I can nudge it a little bit, but I'm not doing the conquered Earth syndrome type of stuff. So, and also making sure that like the colony planets aren't actually colonies of Earth, because she agreed with the computer tech guy who helped create her. Like that would just lead to a war of independence, and that's not going to be good.
All right.
So one of his, let me bring up my Kindle. He's got 2 other series that are kind of futuristic. Let me go back to my library so I can look at this. Sort by grid, sort by author. So that's the Quant series. Then he's a Childers series, which is, both of them are 6 books. And then the Empire series, which is 15 books, although some of those books were written by another author in both the Childers series and the Empire series. So he's very prolific. In terms of his writing. But no. Let me see if the other book came out yet. So when are you coming out? September 5th. Thank you for...
Okay. What are you drinking?
Yes.
I don't know that brand. Shithead.
Yes. It's a mixture of Diet Mountain Dew and Red Monster.
Oh, okay.
Because Cupcake's got the no sleep at night and then want to sleep all day. And I'm basically held together with glue, energy drinks, and a lot of paper clips.
We gotta get together and watch a movie sometime, man.
I know. It'd help if we weren't like all on completely different schedules.
I know.
So one of the books I've been waiting for comes out in September, and the other one in December. So
Okay.
I see the link that Kiki shared from about American evangelicals are getting mad at Jesus for being too woke. I'm like,
Yep.
they did the mental gymnastics to not see his wokeness before, his quote unquote wokeness before now.
Turn the other cheek. Fuck the other
Yep.
cheek.
Cosmic Jew no good. Replaced with white Mormon.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, he was hanging out with tax collectors, undesirables, and who you called a prostitute. Well, she probably wasn't a prostitute. But yeah. It's like there's a good chance that Mary Magdalene was his wife, but oh no, Jesus can have been married, but he probably was married because he was in his 30s and he was a Jewish man following Jewish law, which meant he was married probably between the ages of 19 and 22. Office steer. Which then means that he probably has kids! Oh my god, let's give them an aneurysm. uh,
Yeah. My mom was talking to me while we were talking earlier in the living room because she was overhearing us about how my, not my youngest nephew, my middle nephew, didn't know or couldn't believe or just fucking forgot that my father's Jewish because we were talking to my eldest nephew about putting rocks on his grave, which he never fucking did.
mm-hmm.
They also put the horror of their my elder sister's mother next to him instead of leaving it empty like they were supposed to. But we can't, wallow in anger over the stupid shit other people do. It's just a grave.
Yeah. We're not desecrating it, so...
I can't go grab the sledgehammer. Mostly because we forgot to grab it. I don't actually care that much. I mostly care that they went back on what they said they were going to do. I'm pissed about that. Because I don't even visit the grave. I don't give a shit. I'm an atheist. Why would I go to his grave?
Yeah.
It's the other people who would go to his grave. My mother doesn't go to his grave. She's religious because right next to him is not an empty spot where she's supposed to go. It's his first wife.
Oh, wait, what? What? Huh?
So, my elder sisters, when my father died, wanted him to have a grave.
Right.
Even though he was cremated.
Okay.
So my mother was like, fine, to get them to shut up. But it has to be a double plot so that I can be buried next to him. It was a verbal contract.
Right.
There's no record of it, but it was we're technically family. Let's do this.
Okay.
So they bought the plot. We buried him. And then about a month later, we go visit this grave.
Yeah.
Next to him in what is supposed to be the empty spot is my sister's mother.
Who she buried there.
Yeah. Instead of an
Okay.
empty spot.
Right, okay.
Now, my mother has come to terms with this. We're not going to go after them about it or anything. She wants me to do whatever I want with her ashes.
You can always do what they're gonna do with because this is the thing. If he was cremated, my grandmother's urn is going above my grandfather's urn in his grave.
I have always thought. I mean, sometimes I think that I should just have him unburied.
Yeah.
And take it back, but at the same time, I don't want to have to deal with them in the first place.
Right.
Because they're dead to me.
Right.
That I would suggest that. Just be like, Mom, you always wanted to be next to him anyways. So we could literally bury your urn right next to his urn, put your name right next to his name on the same headstone, and he can have both of his wives next to him.
Well, he has 3 wives.
Well, 3. 2
Dad,
out of 3.
Dad got around. Okay, Mom was the babysitter. Okay.
Right.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Anyway, no, I'm probably going to spread her ashes in the Calusa Cemetery in the section where her family is.
Right.
If I don't just keep them.
We kind of did both things with my dad. We got a double plot for him and my mom. Buried most of his ashes and then went down the Kaga River and
that, or if her sisters are still alive, I might just give the ashes to them. They're religious, so they might want to do something with them. Either way, she wants to be cremated, so I will have her cremated.
Some pugs.
Ooh, pugs. But yeah, let's get off the sad, annoying train because I don't like to talk about my sisters in the first place because I fucking hate them.
Valid. Moving on.
Yeah. What was I gonna talk about?
All I know is that I have literally no clue where my paternal grandfather was buried. I couldn't tell you I never even met my paternal grandmother. My maternal grandfather is buried in a little graveyard in the middle of nowhere that I'll never be able to find again.
Oh.
We drove there in a snowstorm in January to bury him.
Oh boy.
I have no clue how to get back there. It's not far. It's like within an hour's drive of where I live. Couldn't tell you where. Have no clue. No, it's next to a lake. Very beautiful cemetery. Probably never be able to find it again. I mean, my mom knows where he's buried, and I can ask, but it's like, I'm an atheist, so it's like, okay. Like, I have same with my dad. My dad's somewhere in Fort Snelling's National Graveyard, or Cemetery. No clue where. I know he's in the Wall of Heroes. That's about it. I had nothing to do with it. I was just thinking out loud after listening to that entire conversation.
I'm gonna have glitter all over myself for like the next week. Oh, hubby messaged me.
I'm not surprised. I just went, what? And I'm like, oh, it's time suck. No wonder it starts off like that.
What's up?
Totally. So I support Time Suck, the podcast. And they
I'm glad you explained. I'm like, what the hell is time suck? Should I be worried? Should I keep my pants on?
Yeah, you can keep your pants on. and it's by Dan Cummins. It's very irreverent and touches on a lot of serious topics, a lot of wacky topics. And because he's a comedian, like he's come up with like certain characters. But so the post that came up, would you rub your wiener against a stuffed gorilla if no one would ever know about it? I was like, what? Oh, time suck. So it's a Behind the Suck. It's about serial killer Dennis Nilsen. And some other stuff, random stuff. But yeah, that's why I was like, rub your wiener against a stuffed gorilla? What?
Phantom says hi.
Meow meow meow. Meow 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 meow. Meow meow meow.
Hi, big boy. Oh, shit. Watch your tail. You're knocking stuff off on my desk. Kitty kitty.
Hi, Phantom. Alright, so I'm switching over to mobile.
Okay. Okay.
And itchy, scratchy burrs. Oh. Ah. Oh. I really need to stand up more during the day.
Maybe you should invest in one of those convertible desks.
I could.
Okay, since we're not talking, I'm just gonna start saying conversation starters.
Awesome.
What did everybody want to be when they were kids?
Dad.
No.
You asked!
I mean, me too, but I meant like jobs.
I didn't want any job. I wanted to be dead. Nobody liked me. I didn't think about what I was going to be doing in the future because I figured someone was going to murder me before I got that far.
Come on, Cupcake.
I'm not lying! I didn't want to be anyone when I was a kid because nobody liked me. I figured I'd be dead before I finished high school. I was counting the days. No one believes me when I say this. I didn't think I was going to live this long. I thought I was going to get murdered.
I believe you.
Can't breathe water.
Well, at least it's not tea this time.
Ooh, I do have tea in the fridge, though. Anyway, what about you, Mish?
Actor, actually.
Oh. What kind? Stage, television, movie?
When I was young, I just knew actor. That's all that was in my brain. What about Kiki?
I wanted to be a mortician.
Well, you could have said I see dead people.
Mm-hmm.
I see dead people.
But I got the shaky shakes.
Yeah, I can't exactly
Yeah.
do a good job with cutting people open when you got the shaky shakes.
I also wanted to be a marine biologist, but every kid kind of wants to be that. Along with firefighter. The sea is fascinating.
It is.
We keep just finding new stuff in the deep.
Yeah, like random oarfish and shit like that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying I didn't have what could be considered suicidal thoughts growing up too. Although mine were more along the wonderings of, would anyone really miss me if I was gone?
Mm-hmm. Suicidal ideations were... What was that study? I don't remember the study's name. For millennials and Gen Z... Quite high.
Yeah, because we were told you can be anything.
And you really couldn't.
And like all this hope for the future, and then stock market crash after housing bubble crash after 9/11 after pandemic, and it's like people are like, why are you so calm, dude? This is our 6th or 7th like global crisis. Like, is this normal?
Well, that and, all the lead and toxicity.
Hormones in the meat and shit.
Oh boy. We are fucked.
Yeah, that one meme of like the guy with the rope around his neck. Your first time, huh? Like,
Yeah.
your first one, huh?
Like, oh my god, that entire movie, man. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Jesus.
It's like, stop freaking out. You'll be fine. No, I won't. You'll be fine. As we say with our coping mechanisms of eating too much, drinking too much, escaping into, book series or movie series or TV series. It's like, become a hermit like us, and your only interactions are with Netflix.
Why are you gonna be calling me out like that? I mean, honestly.
Yeah, like, it wasn't like it was now where mental illness is starting to get traction of, it's okay to go to therapy. It's okay to receive moods, like the drugs that make the happy juices or the stabilize the brain juices. For us, it was like, we got our parents or grandparents' coping mechanisms of like,
Ow.
well, I'll drink or smoke until I'm happy for.
Yeah. When I told my mom I was going on lithium, oh boy. She's cool now because of the explaining I did, but she was so frightened. And I'm like, no, Mom, this is a good thing. Drugs are good.
That's the one hilarious thing for like our generation is just the no one gives a shit about talking about their mental illness. All the older folks are like, oh my god, we can't talk about it. It's rest. We're like yo, I'm so fucked up. Like, do you want to hear what I talked about my therapist about today? Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
I've been slowly trying to
hitting
chip
my mic.
away, like telling my mom, like, maybe he's breaking the generational toxicity. And because she was throwing a fit that they weren't following what she felt like was her mom's last wishes.
Right.
Because it's like she cut out my grandma, cut out my aunt and my aunt's daughter, right? And they were going to split the house, the proceeds from selling the house, 4 ways originally.
Right.
But then they did 5 ways, and the 5th portion was given to my aunt's grandkids. And it's going to be all set up, like, they split amongst the 3 grandkids until, like, the 2 of them until they're, like, 21. The 3rd one's, like, in her mid to late 20s already. But, and he's like, oh, I don't understand. I'm like, Mom, if Grandma had not excluded them, that's how it would have gone in the first place. It would have gone to Aunt so-and-so, who would have given it to her kids, who would have given it to their kids. And maybe he's just breaking the generational toxicity of holding grudges. I'm like, these 3 kids have absolutely nothing to do with how their mother and grandmother treated their great-grandmother and how their great-grandmother treated their grandma and mom. They had absolutely nothing to do with it as far as we know. So why punish them for... Why leave them out for actions taken and words said by their mother and grandmother and great-grandmother? Like, and besides the fact, my uncle probably just wants to get this over with. Like, let's just make sure everybody's looked after. We're still honoring my mother-in-law's wishes by not including these 2 people. And they can't complain because technically there's 3 people related to them directly that are still benefiting from their great-grandmother's estate. So, and I told her, I've been kind of like pushing back, like, I don't want to hear about the drama. 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 Because it's like, that's sometimes all she wants to talk about. Especially like a few months ago. And it was like, 2 minutes of, hi, how are you? Anything new? And then, well, and it's like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. It's like, let the executor of the estate do his job and get it over with. Anyways, we're not going to exacerbate my psoriasis.
Deep breaths.
And we're moving.
Phantom, stop that. Can I stop hitting print screen?
Mom, I want to save a picture of your cute face on the screen.
But yeah, I wish we had better mental health care. I mean, currently I have great health care and great mental health care because it's government. Stop hitting print screen. Which I will lose in June. Yay.
Yeehaw.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to that. Happy birthday to me.
Yeehaw.
What are you sniffing? Can you stop moving the mic? No, shit. What did you do?
Breaking everything.
There we go. He has sat himself on the keyboard tray. So now I have set the keyboard on top of him. Oh, my big boy. My big annoying boy. Oh. There are no jobs in this fucking town.
Kids nowadays deal with a different kind of bullying.
Yes.
Because,
Cyberbullying.
like us growing up, like, you got away from your bullies and it stopped.
I mean, we dealt with a little bit of cyberbullying growing up with the invention of the internet, but that was different.
Like, by the time it was invented and, like, it was, like, I got my first, like, AOL AIM Instant Messenger thing. I was, like, mid-teens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, 13, 14, 15. So at that point, like, you're only going to put your friends on there. Like, you're only going to share, like, your email and your AIM thing with, like, your friends and your family. So, like, unless they get to everybody in Thunder, whatever. But, like, nowadays, like, so much of their life is online.
Right.
It's like everybody knows what your social media handles are. Like, so, like, it's not too hard for people to tag you and stuff, or if you block it, you have to keep blocking new screen names if people are really dedicated at making your life miserable.
Mm-hmm.
And even if not, they can continue to share whatever they want to share about you, and you can't see it. As I know, the Star Girl, which I'm not sure if they're going to continue with that. It's been a while. The one new, like, superhero girl, it wasn't the one who became Star Girl. Someone else. She sent either a nude or, like, she was just in her underwear and bra to her boyfriend. Well, either her boyfriend or, like, someone else, close, like one of his friends, sent that to the entire school.
Mm-hmm.
And she's Latina, and as many Latinos, her family is religious, Catholic. And so she basically gets shamed by everybody, including her family. And she's basically a pariah. Because she trusted one guy enough, and then somehow it got out. So it's like, yeah. And they're like 16, 17 years old. So it's technically they could get into legal trouble for that, but you just knew that they weren't going to, because it's just kids being stupid, kids being kids, blah blah blah. It's like, no, this is distribution of child pornography. Hey, But that's why I'm glad if I ever decide to do that with hubby, I know for sure he's not saying them to anybody else. Or we've been together long enough that I'm like, yeah, he's got to keep those in a special little folder all for himself.
Are you going to sleep, Phantom?
Let me see. Oh man, that's the feels cupcake.
Why you gotta hit us with the feels, man?
Oh, that's the feels.
What's going on?
You posted the feels!
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't post anything. I am a godless, fearless, soulless, heartless monster of great renown.
Yeah, but Alfred's like, if I can help out one more little man child, not end up like Master Bruce. Yeah. Okay, hold on.
Holding on?
Yeah. There we go. There, I had to reply to something. I wanted to reply to something really quick.
Okay.
So I was like, ooh, unstable internet connection from Cupcake.
Hmm.
Well, instead of your video, your face, it shows your icon, and then it says unstable internet connection. So I don't know if it's me or if it's you or I'm just cray cray.
I'm guessing it's you, because unless Geeky doesn't
Oh,
have
there
it,
you
then...
are.
I
You pop
can
back
see
up.
him.
There we go. There we go. It must have been me.
Are you comfortable, Mr. In the Way?
I am human. You are large and squishy and warm. You are a good pillow.
Pardon. Oh, he's on the move. Nope, he was just adjusting. Never mind. I thought I was free.
Oh no.
Freedom. You fuzzy bastard.
Yeah. Are you talking about your cat?
Yes.
Yes, she's talking about her cat and not the master of the abyss.
How about this? Is this better?
Say, mommy, I get pets as well as I
Oh
sit
boy.
on them.
Oh. There.
All right. Yeah, your sunspot's moved all the way over. I know, it's horrible. Yeah, your sunspot's right there.
God, you're heavy.
What? How's my hubby?
I said the cat's heavy, but how is your hubby?
Oh, sorry. I was like, huh? He's good. He might be going off on another work trip next week.
Oh,
And let me look at next Monday. It'll be for 13 years for us
ooh,
being they're married.
Wow, that's like forever.
Forever. I know. For some people, it is forever.
Ooh, look at that foot go.
But
Why
But
don't you
yeah, it
go
was
out
funny
in the
back.
garden with the dog? What was funny?
So when we were in California visiting my brother,
Uh-huh.
they have one of those things of like they're married the day they were married, cut out of license plates. And I was like, oh yeah, I got one of these for us a few years ago. And he is like, yeah, our eldest is old enough to realize and do the math, because she looked at that date and kind of thought for a moment and was like, hey, were you guys pregnant with me when you got married? He was like, ding, ding, ding. Yep. You're old enough to do the math. Congratulations.
Yay, good. They're smart enough to do the math.
So, but, itchy, scratchy. Nose.
Um,
It'll be a house and dog sitting for my mom again, because my brothers and sisters-in-law are going hiking.
yeah.
And they're going,
Whoops.
so I can't remember exactly where they're going. Yeah, so she's going out to watch the kids and all that nice jazz, and I'm like, okay, I'll watch the dog.
How exciting.
Puppy time.
Yep.
Okay, cat. I am gonna put you on the bed, and you are gonna stay there.
Never! He's not Ringo. Goddamn.
Oh God, you're so fucking heavy.
Oh, dog go see somebody. Size ferocious? Yes. And to give you guys an idea, it's not loud and I'm upstairs. He's like, I'm very loud when I say I's here.
Right.
Hmm.
Let me go back here. And shit, okay, I'll go here. Oh, no, I did not want to do that. I think it's from here. So yeah, it's from here.
Let's see. After this, you have to go get your mom's car.
Yeah. At least I got time. I got like 3 hours.
Okay.
Well, I basically have to let her know when I'm going so that she knows that she can. She's going to walk from my grandma's to the cannon because it's like half a mile. It's not far.
Well, I'm
But
just
basically,
wondering if you have time after that to watch a movie.
oh, maybe I don't. I don't know if I have to go to my grandma's after that or not. Like that hasn't been disclosed.
Okay.
But yes, technically.
Because I ain't got shit to do today.
I mean, like, otherwise, I'll be back later. Like, I don't know if we're doing dinner there tonight, but otherwise, like, at some point this evening, I'll be back home again. Because I'm off. Like, I'm not going to work today, and I don't have to go to work tomorrow until noon. So, like, I'll be around eventually. This is what I talk about when people are like, why don't you get to doing anything? I'm like, I'm busy. Like, how are you busy? Shit just piles up in front of me.
Yeah, like,
It's not like my social calendar is full. It's just like I still have to put away the laundry that we did over the weekend. Like I have an entire laundry room full of hangers of like shirts and pants, whatever, that at some point today I got to put away just so I can make room for the dirty laundry that's got to get hung. Well, you know, the dirty laundry we're going to do and I'm going to have to hang.
Yeah. I get you.
Like I emptied, like before we started, I emptied one of the clothes baskets full of clean underwear and shirts. Not shirts, what was it? It was towels. And there's like 3 more like that, plus a whole, like, 15 feet of hanging shirts and whatever that I gotta take and put in my closet.
Mm.
At least I don't need any more exercise. I got fucking 14,000 steps today. Oh god, my feet.
oh, you know what? I'm late from lunch, but that is okay.
Oh
I'm
no.
not exactly. Oh no.
I had that one night. I had to call my general manager when I got back. I'm like, I'm letting you know I was late. I was late getting back from lunch. Like, do whatever you gotta do. But the answer to your question is the dude in front of me ordered 2 of everything.
Oh, God.
He's like, what? I'm like, the guy in front of me ordered 2 of everything at the local taco place. He's like,
Oh, jeez.
was he high? Yes. Oh, well, I'm sorry that happened. Yeah, I didn't think I was ever like 7:30 at night on a Wednesday. I'm just like, I'm letting you know that's what's happening. Like, you got to write me up, whatever, recommend me. You can reprimand me. I'm just telling you I was late from lunch, so you know.
Oh, my stupid nose.
Somebody's thinking of you.
Oh boy.
Oh no. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Oh. Of course, I pick up things where my hands are full, and behind my ear is like, we're itchy too. I'm like, fuck you and you.
Are your ears burning when people are talking about you?
I think you sneezed when people were talking shit about you.
I don't remember.
Well, I mean, that's a Japanese thing. Like, it always, like, people be like, oh, Sanosuke's such a bitch. And then they'll cut them off. I'm sure. I think somebody's talking crap about me.
Yeah.
Feel that to the core of me. Which reminds me, speaking of your earlier comment, what do you want to watch?
Well, shit. I've got Dungeons and Dragons. I've got the Super Mario movie. And I've got the Spider-Man movie.
All of those would be amazing, I'm sure.
And if for some reason you wanted to watch the Little Mermaid movie, I have that too.
I mean, I wouldn't say no. I don't know what I would think of it, but I wouldn't say no.
Yeah, the Super Mario movie is cute.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I've wanted to see it. I just never get around to it.
Peaches, 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 peaches.
It takes...
It's
Dude, just keeping up with my YouTube subs takes all day while I'm off.
Yeah. How many movies was that?
At least 3 or 4 that I think I heard.
I think I bought Dungeons and Dragons. I just haven't watched it yet.
We can roll a 4-sided die and add a number to every movie.
Oh, God.
Baxter, you're just telling me this now. Hold on.
Actually, let's take off Little Mermaid.
Okay.
We'll roll a 3-sided die. So Dungeons and Dragons is 1, Super Mario is 2, Spider-Man is 3. And roll 1. You got 1. You cannot see that I rolled 1. There we go.
There we go.
Do business. Come on.
Dungeons and Dragons is a good movie.
It seemed like it.
Great cast. Great plot.
Good job. Good job. All right, come on, let's go back in. Come on. You peed. Let's go. Go on. Thank you. All right. Chair. All right. All right. Switching back over to the computer.
Rawr. All right.
Arr.
Rawr. Go bring this up so I can do this. There we go.
I really am loving playing D&D, but we're planning to play Cyberpunk right after that, and I really want to do that, so I kind of want D&D to be over.
You're now more interested in the cyberpunk setting than the D&D setting.
I just love Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk is fun.
As a theme and an atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like, I've never played Cyberpunk Red as a system or anything like that, but...
Yeah. You just like that world setting of, like, next Sunday AD kind of Cyberpunk.
Yeah. I mean, I wish we were playing Shadowrun because I love Shadowrun, but I get it. Shadowrun's not for everyone. And hubby's really been into Cyberpunk, the video game, for a while. He played
That's really fun. Sorry.
He played the shit out of it. He's not playing it anymore. He's playing Baldur's Gate now.
Right.
He's loving that. He's taking a break from FF14 too.
Right.
Pardon. But yeah, we already started making characters for it. I'm learning the system. We don't know actually when we're gonna start playing because it depends on when our campaign ends.
Oh, gosh.
What?
The first official image of the boy in the hair in the new Ghibli film just popped.
Okay.
Hang on. I'm gonna share it. Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh, I don't know if that's racist or not. Holy shit!
Oh my god! Holy shit! Wow. I just,
I hope it's just a big nose.
or his true form is a bird, and that he's got a beak of a quote unquote beak of a nose because he's a bird.
That's pretty clearly the heron, but like, oh my god, that nose.
I have to pee. I'll be right back. Oh my god.
I was not expecting that. Like, the first official image of the boy in the heron. I'm like, oh, cool. Click on it. Oh god, what? You can fucking ski jump off that thing.
All right.
Kiggy's not here, but they just announced that they're going to release a mega ultra rare edition of My Darling Dress Up. So that my Dress Up Darling? So that's going to be on my radar.
Nice. So, all right. Da, 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 da. I guess it's time for the bathroom. Potty for the doggy.
Right.
Ooh, dodge missile strikes. Death from above. The Omnix of King's Row needs your help. Modifier dodge incoming missile strikes, or lure your enemies into them. So of course there's normal, hard, expert, and legendary. And the one that I've played a few times already, like, I'm fine with on normal, but like even hard is like, oh my god, it's so much harder. And one of the challenges is to finish a game on expert, and it's like, holy shit, so hard.
I'm back.
Hello. I was just telling Cupcake the new Season 5 mission for Underworld King's Row is available now, and it's called Death from Above. That the Omnix of King's Row needs your help, and the modifier is you have to dodge incoming missile strikes or lure your enemies into them. So I'm like, that'll be interesting.
Neat.
Because the first one was you answer Iggy's distress call and fight against the Null Sector in this event mission. And one of the challenges is finish that one in expert mode, and it's tough as fuck. Like, it's just no. No. And I've already done the other 3, the story missions. One in Rio de Janeiro, one in Toronto, and one in Gothenburg. So it kind of gives a little bit more backstory on Lucio, Sojourn, and kind of Bastion, Torbjorn, Bridget. I'm not sure if it's Bridget or Brigitte. And then Reinhardt. So that's fun. Oop. Did not mean to hit that, but that's okay. I need to bring that up anyways. Excuse me. I have nothing else new here. Just here. I already have a Genji. Let's do. Oh, there's already Salt in the team chat. There's already Salt. I'm like, oh, gosh dang, guys! Like, I know I'm coming in at the end of the first like mission, but seriously.
You been playing anything, Cupcake? I know you've been busy as shit.
No! Nothing! Only work!
Well, I commented the first thing I see is I'm lagging, Moira. We don't talk about it. I was like, damn. Almost like, jeez. There's already assault. Oh, I don't know if I told you guys.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny. So we were in, I think it was one of the new maps is, we were in New Junk City. So that's one of the new maps. So there's 3 things you have to, who is usually like, if the timer runs out before you win all 3, is whoever wins the most or you win all 3. And so I was in Yada, right? And there was, the tank was Junker Queen. So someone very Junker Queen, pretty tough. And it's like, stupid Zenyatta, like you're not doing your job right kind of things. And I'm like, and then one of my friends was playing with me, and I like, not by much, but I outdam it as Zenyatta, who I consider one of the slower supports, right? Out damaged the friggin' tank, right? I'm like, dude, I'm not supposed to like out damage you. What is going on? Like, oh my god, I hate Doomfist players. I hate them so much, especially ones who are good at their goddamn jobs. I'm like, I hate you all. I hate you all. Not saying that that's not what they're supposed to do, but I just found it hilarious that I'm like, I'm a support. I'm not supposed to be out damaging the tank. Like, hello. But that was hilarious. Like, if I'm stupid, why am I out damaging you? Like, bish, please. But yeah, that's, you find silly people everywhere. Rawr.
Brr.
Arashahar.
Am I having a stroke?
Hmm.
Were you guys speaking English or were you guys just speaking gibberish?
It was gibberish, honey. You're
Thank
okay.
God. I was like, hey, I get to die!
Careful.
Not yet. Not yet.
Soon.
Not even soon. We are not done
I'm-
with you.
A man drinks, doesn't eat, he's gonna die. Win.
For some reason, I got reminded of the. I may have mentioned it before, but it's the TikTok series about. I have to finish rewatching it. It's Saint Peter and the Heaven Certificates. It's hilarious. And the TikTok creator is a southerner and he's Jewish and it's hilarious.
Good God. Good God.
Oh, I just remembered. My niece got engaged.
Yeah, you were saying that
Yay!
the other day. I remember that. You're like, I gotta go. I gotta tell my family. I'm like, all right, have fun. Bye.
So, yay!
Woo.
And there was much rejoicing. Yay! Wait for the flags.
My little baby
Right.
is all grown up. And I do mean that. There was a time in her life where she was practically my baby.
Very nice.
Not really.
Well,
Oof.
at least she had you.
Yeah.
Out of an entire situation that is very shitty, she had you.
Her parents were constantly fighting. There was a lot of custody battle. Eventually she ended up with her grandma, not my mom. Her
Right.
her other grandma, which was a good thing.
Good.
Although after a while her custody reverted to her what is now her other father,
Right.
and that was not a good thing.
Oh, okay.
Because her other father is emotionally abusive.
Oh, Jesus.
Gross.
So, but now she is an adult, she is happy, and she is engaged. She
E
has
to the haw.
I am a terrible aunt, though, because I do not remember what degree she got in college. Because I was so proud of her, and now I don't remember. Oh boy. That little girl used to be my world, and now I'm like,
Oh
Who
no,
you
the
be?
dementia's setting in.
oh well.
Oh well.
I am happy for her.
Yes. Yeah, my niece is a high schooler now, by the way.
Aww.
Well, she was born the year before we got married, so.
Oh, come on. That was only like last year. Oh, shit.
We're old.
We're old, Cupcake.
What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, no. The dudes that I work with work for me, however you want to look at my team. We're talking about seeing The Hangover. And the guy who is like my youngest dude, who's like 16, 17, something like that, was like, "What? The Hangover? That old movie?" I'm like, "What? What do you mean old movie?" Because the guy that was talking about it was like, "Yeah, I was like in the fourth grade when it came out. It was awesome to see." I'm like, "You were in the? I'm sorry, what? You're an adult. You were in the fourth grade when that came out?" So I feel old. That movie came out in 2006.
Ugh.
Yeah,
hurt.
that yeah. There's a lot of shit where it's like, holy crap, like.
I say that because if you do the math, given the age I just gave of my youngest team member, he was born the same year the movie came out. I was out of high school. I feel very old.
Oh God.
My almost grown ass fucking team member, who is I think going to be a senior this year, so he must be 17 now, was born after I graduated high school. I'm feeling it hard. That made me go, oh, I'm sorry, what?
Your business allows non-18-year-olds?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Why wouldn't they?
I don't know.
Somebody's gonna push the cards, because adults sure as hell aren't.
Valid point.
I mean, almost our entire carryout crew are high school boys. Yeah, I mean, like, other than like some of the heavy lifting, like stuff, or not heavy lifting, but like the stuff that requires you to be an adult, like they're no less capable salespeople than any other grown adult. Like they do. The youngest guy's he's sharp. I got no complaints.
It's like, gotta, yeah. So they're very, yeah, they're just as capable, and then you have to realize that like folks who were born in 2002 before today and before can legally drink in the United States.
Yeah, I guess.
And it's been 20 years this year since I've been in high school.
They're having a reunion at my high school this year, and Vixen wanted me to go, and I'm like, I didn't even graduate, and nobody's gonna fucking know who I am. And if they do, I probably don't want to know them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I still have a couple more years, thank God, before my 20th, but I'm still not excited about it.
Shit.
I'm just more dealing with the fact that it's been almost 20 years for me. Like, I sure as hell don't feel like I graduated high school almost 2 decades ago.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, it's been over a decade since I finished college.
And in September will be hubby and I's 16th anniversary for marriage.
Damn.
23rd anniversary for overall relationship. Ah, hi cat. Hi. Can I help
I
you?
swear to God, it's like every time I play Zenyatta, there's a Sombra on the opposite team who like sneaking up behind me and fucking me over. I'm like, God damn it! Like I'm just trying to be a calm, floaty boy.
You're cursed. Cursed. Yes, I love you, cat.
Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow.
Hmm. And now the other cat's in here.
Ah, aren't you loved?
Yes, she's very loved.
Hi, Ghost. Say hi.
Hi, Ghost. Lovelies.
Hi, Ringo. Hi, Ringo. I'm not gonna pick you up.
All right. Anything else new or exciting?
I don't know. I got a new water bottle.
Cool.
It does this. That's not very interesting, though.
It's okay, though. Uh, oh, I got a hairy dick next to me. He's snoozing.
Oh, poor thing.
Baxter says it's getting old.
Ringo's getting old, too.
We all getting old, motherfucker.
Although Ringo's still pretty spry for being 14.
He is.
I gotta cut his nails, though. Oh, 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 oh. Ow.
Don't hurt yourself.
Or do. We're not your parents.
Mm.
Itch, itch, itch.
I don't know. I wish I could go on like a day trip to Folsom Lake.
Okay.
I don't know. Just popped in my head. I don't want to go camping at Folsom Lake because I have a fucking CPAP machine.
Valid.
Camping's kind of hard now.
Yeah, it is a little hard when you have a CPAP.
Both me and hubby have CPAP, so...
So that don't work.
Yeah. But I wouldn't mind a day trip to Folsom Lake, because Folsom Lake is just an awesome place to go to swim. Barbecue. Right here, puppy. I'm petting you. It's okay. You got itchy face?
Yesterday, Baxter had itchy face on his upon his return from walkies.
Mm.
He's stretching and rubbing his face on the carpet, and itchy face. Got a scratch on the carpet, or at least roll on the carpet. And for some reason, my brain is giving me Beatles tunes.
Huh. It's weird.
My brain just went, Eleanor Rigby. Do 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 do. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm
Well,
like,
okay.
okay, brain.
How did you do this, cat? The cat turned
Magic.
off my lights on my keyboard, and I don't know how he did it.
Impressively, apparently.
I really would like them back on because the lettering is very dark. Ah. Oh, hi, Ghost. What you doing?
Yeah.
It's like, greetings, human.
come to say hello? Ghost is normally the more chill one. With exception. Like serenading in the bathroom. Huh. Especially if the door's closed. You hate that when the bathroom door is closed. I get no privacy.
You don't need no privacy from the cats. Yeah.
And when I'm home, and if I leave the downstairs half bath door open, because I'm home by myself, Bax will walk in and be like, "Hey," and it's like, "Well, you come out with me when I go pee, so I should be in here when you pee, right?"
That's pretty much 100% why they do what they do. Because they're like, you watch my back while I go, I watch yours while you go.
Yep.
Also give me rubs.
Yep.
Exactly. He will lick my fingers, and then he will elicit rubs and scratches. And then I will tell him Mommy's got a wipe, and then he knows that I'm done with going to the bathroom,
Yeah.
and he can walk off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ghost especially loves if I'm in the bath. He will sit on the side of the tub and just stare at me. And when the bath is drained, he will roll around in the tub.
Because reasons,
Because he's a cat.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Yeah, that's right. I gotta clean out my car.
Oh, yeah?
Hubby is most likely, there's a good chance, he's getting a new car this weekend.
Oh, okay.
And what's going to happen is my car is going to become the firm's car for they're going to have they're going to rent a place down North Carolina.
Okay.
And so that'll be their car for when they're down there, so they don't have to rent a car. I'm getting hubby's current vehicle, and he's getting the new car. So.
Okay.
Oh, and Phantom has returned.
Dun, dun.
Course.
So I have them all.
Of course.
All right, my turn to powder my nose. BRB.
What's your tail?
Never.
Fucking cat. I need to reweigh him. I swear he's gotten heavier.
He probably has.
Huh, you're probably like 25 pounds now. We should probably call it when she comes back. It's almost 1.
Right.
We've actually chatted quite a lot.
Yeah.
I gotta go back in here, Stinky.
Come here, you. Oh!
I'm back.
Welcome back. I don't know why I said it like that.
Hello, fat kitty.
Heavy. Go on. Alright. Mouse there. Keyboard that I can't read there. I think we've talked enough today,
Okay.
right?
Sounds good to me. Yeah, we talked a lot today.
Alright.
I think we did too.
It's almost 1 o'clock, so.
Yeah.
Or whatever time it is in your time zones.
3 p.m.
I refuse to do
Yes.
math. Ow.
Well, I mean, if you weren't stuck in Standard Time, you wouldn't be having these problems. Some of us are in Daylight Savings Time, please and thank you.
Okay. Thanks for potting
Okay.
with me.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Toodles!
Thank you once again for listening to the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party podcast with Kiki, Cupcake, and Miss. Have a happy August, and be well. Farewell, my fellow internet beings.